Hi, it's Handy Val. In this video we'll be changing the oil and oil filter on this Cadillac XT6. What I do and show is 100% applicable to all Cadillac XT6 models and trims with a 3.6 liter V6 engine. A huge advantage of doing an oil change with an SUV is that you don't have to lift the vehicle. There's enough space down here to do your oil business without the need to jack the SUV. Jacking an SUV or any car is cumbersome and adds a lot of time. You need to have the car suspended on all 4 jacks, not just the 2. And that's not only an exercise in itself, but also can be dangerous if you're not doing it properly. So keeping the XT6 on all 4 wheels is a big bonus for DIYers doing their own oil change. For the job, you're going to need 6 quarts or 5.7 liters of 5W30 oil with the DEXOS logo on it. DEXOS means that the oil meets or exceeds the oil standards required by GM and Cadillac. Most oil you're going to buy at big box stores will be DEXOS approved, like Castrol, most Pennzoil, and even Costco's Kirkland. And what I have here is Mobil 1. All oil mentioned here are of good quality. You're going to need an oil filter like these, all of which are going to work well on the XT6 3.6 liter. I'm going to be using in this video the AC Delco PF63 oil, but also Mobil 1. Somebody argues maybe even a better choice. The M1212 works just the same. Anyways, these are both good choices. Either one of these, you're in good hands. An oil filter wrench like this one may be required to move the old oil filter. You know, this is more like a $10 to $15 tool. You could also use one of these. This is also quite common. Oil filters actually only need to be put on hand tight. So it just depends on who did your oil last time or who put the oil filter on the previous time. Here, I'll show you how this works. We'll get to it underneath the car, but effectively this thing goes underneath here and makes it easier for you to connect and disconnect. Even the oil filter itself is not even pointing to a tool. It's just saying hand tighten, 1 turn, 10 Newton meters, which is effectively like just a simple little hand turn. And they're saying go 1 full turn. The socket wrench is what you're going to need, and you're going to need a 15 millimeter. Okay? And you need a catch basin like this one that's going to take at least 6 quarters, but it has to be short enough to fit under the car. You want it to at least take 8 quarters to avoid any spilling, as the oil is going to drop in there, and then you're going to want to empty it out. So if you get one that's exactly 6 quarts, it's going to be very difficult for you to empty it out without dripping all over your garage floor or driveway. So before you get ready to remove the oil, it's a good idea to simply drive it 1 to 2 miles. A warm engine drains better, but you don't want it hot, as you could really burn yourself. So that's why you keep the drive to 1 to 2 miles, then you park it, and then you wait 15 to 20 minutes before you get the job done. And if it's a warm summer day, you could even skip the drive. All right, let's open the hood. Now let's remove the drain fill cap, as removing is going to allow the oil to drain more freely and quickly, as it allows some airflow. All right, it may seem tight down here, but certainly doable. So let's get a little bit of the lay of the land here. So there is the oil drain plug right there in the center. And then there's the oil filter, okay? All very easily accessible by just going underneath the car. So what we're first going to do, let's take out the oil drain plug, and we're going to get the catch basin right underneath it, okay? A little bit of an angle. Let's do it. All right, so let's go ahead. 15 millimeter. Again, you want to go counterclockwise to remove. All right, so actually I got a longer bar. It depends on the bar, it depends on how much space you got. Let's give it a shot. Actually, the longer the bar, the easier it will be for you. I'm actually using what's called like a breaker bar. And you just want to get it just a little loosened up at first. And then once it's loosened up, then you could go back to a more simple bar. You can tell, let's have a look at that, right? That's a big bar. I guess the previous guys must have really done it bad. The previous oil change was done by the dealership. And now, once it's loosened up, now you move to your smaller wrench, and you could get to it a lot easier. All right, so there it is. Okay, and then you want to get to hand. One thing you're going to notice with this as well, there's no, so hopefully you can sort of see it, it's going to drop. You're going to get yourself dirty, don't worry about that. If you're really good, you don't get yourself dirty, but we're trying to make a video, you can sort of see it. It's going to come out any minute, any minute, any minute. Alright, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. Ooh, there we go, that's not too bad. I'm going to leave it there, it's going to take some time. Okay, there's no crush washer on this. They're kind of built in the crush washer, if you could sort of see it. Okay, maybe I'll take this out for now. You could kind of get to it over here. See, it's got its own little crush washer, automatic. You don't need to put your own. Some of the older style, you got to buy like a copper crush washer. You don't need it for this. This one you could reuse it. We're going to clean it up with a rag. The oil plug, hopefully you get a better view of this one. So these are obviously they're reusable until they're not. And yeah, so it's not too bad, right? I'd like to get it a little clean before I put it back in as it's draining. It's draining, you just want to lift this up as well. Again, airflow is going to make things a lot easier. Good information for those of you doing it for the first time. Make sure when you're buying the oil, it is brand new. A lot of times big box stores do accept returns and people fiddle around with it, okay? So let's hear this, right? Just to see this is going to be a new one. There should also be an aluminum wrap on the plug. So let's have a look. You're going to hear like you have to hear like a little bit of a, okay, you can sort of see that. You could tell this thing's never been opened because it's going to separate. And there you go. See that separation there? That's how you know. There you go. Hear that noise? That's how you know you bought yourself a new one. And just to make sure, that's good. All right, as you can sort of see it, it's kind of just barely dripping here. We're ready to go in with the new plug. Now before, with the old plug. So before you go ahead now, you're going to kind of get in there with a little bit of a rag. Get that thing a little clean. Okay. Don't got to go inside the hole, just a little bit outside the hole, make it a little bit easier. Nice clean. Then you're going to take the plug and you want to go in nice and don't force it, don't force anything. Okay, it's going to need to go in all by itself. And there you go. Okay, just by hand, you're going to get it right there. This has to be tightened at 24 Newton meters. Okay, now most people could just go in there with your wrench that you had it and kind of get it reasonably tight. I have the torque wrench now set at 24 Newton meters or 18 foot-pounds. Let's just have a look here, just to kind of just give it a sense. How tight it should be. There you go, that's it. Doesn't take much, okay? And so that's a little bit of a hand tight. Now you're going to always want to clean it with dish soap, or you could use some brake clean to kind of just clean around it, because what you're going to always want to do is a day or two, just check to see if it's leaking, or if it's even leaking on your driveway. Let's give it a little shot here. Okay. Alright, so there it is. There's the oil filter, and we're just going to see if we could get our hands there. Obviously we get our hands there and remove it by hand. Now we got to go counterclockwise. That's how it should be. It should be kind of hand tightened. If it's not, then we'll go ahead and we'll use the wrench. Nope, definitely not working by hand. So let's get the tool. All right. Alright, so here you go. So let's just get the wrench in there somehow, and you can sort of see this starts to turn, right? Wasn't put on that hard. But again, it's a little tight to get in there with your hands. So you're going to move this thing out. Let's just see now if it's a little better with the hands. It's hard to get your grip in there. Okay, as that starts to happen, get a little bag. There's going to be some oil that's going to drip. There you go. Okay. Let's just see this. Okay, now it's starting to come out. Yeah, that's the ugly part about it. Let it drip a little bit. Okay. Oh, there we go. Obviously a little dirty. Get your rags. Alright, so that's where the oil filter is housed. You can kind of see where the screwing takes place. And what you're just going to want to do is get a rag, go around the perimeter of that, and get it clean. It doesn't have to be sparkling, just gotta wipe some of that old oil off. Alright, so that's it. So I'm going there with a nice clean rag. I'm going to go right around it. No, I can't. It's hard to film down here. Definitely stick my head in there. And just clean this all up as well. Some filter housing locations are really bad. This is actually pretty good shape. Right. And now we're ready for the new oil filter. Alright, so here's the new filter. Right, so this is a PF63, which is certainly does do what it does do its trick now. The one that they had put on prior was a PF64 here, which is a little smaller. You can tell this is a bit bigger. This definitely is an official one. The PF63 is the more official one than what was put on there. But again, not sure. You know, sometimes these the numbers and the codes do change, so always check the fitment. But definitely an AC Delco PF63 is the right filter for this. And as you can tell, because it's even a little bit larger, sometimes we had that trouble going down there trying to remove it by hand. That was the reason why. Right? Obviously, this is now going to stick a little bit more. It's going to be a hell of a lot easier to put in and remove. So, pre-filling it is not something you have to do, right? It's very much the jury's out on whether it's a good thing or a bad thing or whatnot. But what you have to do for sure is you have to get some of your fresh oil and definitely put it around this part of it. And the idea is that it makes for a better stick, a better seal, and makes it easier for you to remove so it doesn't stick. You can definitely get your head all the way in here, okay? Maybe not necessarily get the camera in there until you kind of see it. And okay, there you go. Now, the problem with this is it still does get awfully slippery because you do have oil on your hand. Now again, this is the Handy Valve channel. We show all steps. We don't gloss over anything here, right? So these are all real world problems you're going to encounter. So you're going to try to go as tight as possible with it. As you can tell, I'm struggling because I am slipping. So what you can do is kind of like remove your gloves or clean this with some Dawn dish soap and then go with your hand, or you could cheat and move on to the oil wrench filter and give it a little bit of a tight. Alright, now what I did use some brake clean. We're going to see, you're going to need to take your gloves off, put some new gloves on, but let's just see where things are. Yeah, as you can see there, I got a lot more grip on that. And it's really going now. It's really going. Still going. So let's just see if we do get the wrench in. Let's just see how much. Now again, you're going to want to be very careful with the wrench because you don't want to bend it or anything like that. That's why you always want to go by hand. Let's get a little bit of the wrench there and just see that gently turn. That's a little bit of a turn. Go a little more. Yeah, there you go. Maybe just a little more. Yeah, that kind of feels pretty good. Okay, now obviously you're going to come back here again the day after, a couple of days after, and see if there's any drips. And where the drips will stay is if you did not tighten this properly, you'll see some oil, a drip of oil about right here, because it's going to drip, hang around right here. And if you see it there, then you know you got to hand tighten it a little more. You're going to go with your wrench and give it a little bit of a tighten. But for now, I think we got ourselves a pretty good thing. We got the plug in properly. This thing is properly tightened. Now let's go to the top. The easy, all the hard part's done. It's just downhill from here. So this is 5 quarts, 4.7 liters. It takes 6 quarts, or about 5.7 liters. So what we're going to do here is, it takes 6 quarts, 5.7 liters. So we're going to dump all the 5 quarts in there. What you're going to want to do is put about 5.5 quarts. You never want to overfill it, because if you overfill it, it's just as bad as underfilling. It's got its own other problems. So what you're going to want to do is definitely, let's dump 5 quarts in there, knowing that we still got 1 quart left. Dumping that in. Okay, I'll leave that there for a bit. So can sort of see it's kind of still dripping in. You can kind of tell, look, some of it's still there. Make sure you got out every nook and cranny out of this thing. Just makes it easier for you to understand. This isn't about saving a tiny bit or tiny ounces of fluid. It's more just making sure you understand how much oil is actually in this thing. And we want to get all 5 quarts of this, or all 4.7 liters of this out of this jug. The second jug, and now what you're going to want to do, this is a brand new jug. You're probably going to want to go, so there's, you can sort of, hopefully you can see that. That's the line right there. You're going to want to go about right here with it, and then we'll get into measuring with the dipstick. Let's kind of see there, not quite. We want to go about right there. Sort of see we're there. We want to go about there. So ideally, we need to wait 2 hours for all this engine oil to make its way all the way to the bottom before we get a good reading. But in reality, anytime you check the oil, the best time to check the oil on the XT6 is in the morning, or at least 2 hours after a drive. Now in this case, recall we put the new oil filter on. It's not a good idea to actually take a reading right now. It's probably a good idea to drive it out, get the oil into the oil filter, let it go, let it do its thing, and then wait the 2 hours or wait the overnight to get the measurement. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take it out for a short little drive. We're going to park it, and then we're actually going to wait overnight. We'll come back and we'll see exactly where this engine oil level is at. But in the meantime, let's actually reset the engine oil life in the car. So this is now to reset. Now you're going to use a little toggle there depending on what you have there. Now I actually have the oil life filter on. Okay? It does say. Now if you don't have it, what you need to do, you need to toggle with this one. Go over to where it says information, which will be this one, and you want to go to the info page options, and you're going to press this button, and you're going to want to go all the way down and toggle until you get to the oil life. Okay? You're going to want to toggle that on, and then once you've got that on, now you're going to move back to the information screen, and then you're just going to press reset, and then you're going to toggle yes and get it done, and that'll push it back to 100. That's it. So here we are next day. The car hasn't been driven in over 15 hours, so it's going to be a textbook oil level reading. The dipstick needs to go in all the way for us to read it here. So let's go ahead. Let's give it a shot. All right, so we're going to take it out. We're going to give a little bit of a clean. Make sure it has to be clean all around it. Okay, give it a clean, lint free. Okay, and let's get a lay of the land here in terms of what we're trying to accomplish here. So ultimately, I think where we want to go is you want to sort of be in this top end of the range, right? It goes in there, kind of in that top range. If you're anywhere up here, obviously things have gone really wrong, and you want to be kind of, I would say 75% of the way there. Try to be around that range. Okay, so we're going to stick it all the way in. We're going to go all the way in, and then we're going to take it out. And the idea is that you want to keep it at this angle as well. You want to keep it down, and then you could kind of tell. Hopefully you could sort of see there. It feels like it's maybe at that place where my thumb is. You see it right there? It's a pretty good spot. And actually, if you turn around this way, it looks like it's even gone. I guess it looks like it's even a little bit right at the very top end. But this side, you can clearly see it hasn't got that hexagon pattern or that square pattern. The top 2 squares haven't been touched by the oil, so that's actually a pretty good level. On the screen, you'll see my Cadillac XT6 playlist. If you learned from this video, please like and subscribe to the Handy Val channel, as I will be sharing more helpful tips in the near future for the Cadillac XT6. Thank you, and bye for now.